So let's start from where we stopped. Let's start from where we stopped. So I was saying earlier that it guides revaluation. It guides future revaluation. And what does this mean? It means that for a new valuer, probably there is a change of guard or change of office, and we have a new valuer that is now the consultant now. The valuer can also refer back to the earlier tone made, just for his work to be what to be easy, to be smooth. It shows that you have a template already that you are using, that can be used, that can be used. Then the last importance is also amongst many though, is also that it ensures legal validity. I made mention earlier that tone of list can be used for what? Can be used to settle dispute. Can be used to settle dispute. It's a quash list that are arbitrary in a way. That are arbitrary in a way. So the way you are saying that tone is in a way it can save. It can save and it can deliver and it can make cause cases to be what to be seamless, not to be stressful, not to be stressful. Then let's quickly look into the challenges of or where we can say problems and challenges in establishing tone of listen in Nigeria. In Nigeria. So the first one we'll be considering is the scarcity of reliable rental data. Scarcity of reliable rental data, because when we are carrying out our market survey, many many listings, many rents, they are informal. Some of them are not even documented, especially our local markets we have around. Some of them are not documented. Some of them don't even know the amount they are paying. If you ask them, they will just tell you, okay, sorry, let me quickly go and check my record, or oh, the receipt I was given is at home. You need to come back tomorrow. When you come back, then I can give it to you. In fact, in some situations, you might not even see it. You might not even see it. And at the end of the which will not help your own what help your own documentation. And there were some landlords stroke tenants, or under they are under declared. They don't really declare their rent. And why? They don't really, in fact, they are trying to avoid paying taxes or paying rates. So they'll just be like, ah, I can't remember the amount I paid last. So the essence of what they are trying to do is that they don't want to what? They don't want to pay it. That is why you have to do your homework, due diligence. That is why you have to do your own diligence. And also in Nigeria, now that we have rapid inflation and depreciation, currency depreciation, before we know it, market rent what changes quickly. Market rent changes quickly. Don't be surprised that every year you have to be doing what? Review upon review, because of this economic indicators that will affect that will affect value. Is changing quickly, and there is need for making another making another tone of list, or you what update your tone of list, because if you don't do this, it makes the initial tone of list to be what? To be outdated. To be outdated. Then another challenges we face also is the heterogeneous property market. Heterogeneous property market, because we know that Nigeria cities, we have diverse and unplanned property markets, making the standardization to be what? To be difficult, So the market is the heterogeneous nature of the market make the standardization to be what? To be difficult. And also in Nigeria, we have the political and public resistance in terms of taxpayers, which often resist updated valuations. They arise from their liability, just trying to abscond on, trying to uh, trying not to say the truth about their assets, trying not to disclose it properly, trying not to disclose it properly. What are they trying to do? They are trying to avoid payment of what? Payment of rates. They're trying to avoid payment of rates. Then we also have inadequate professional capacity. So it's one of the challenges we face, where we have shortage of trained valuers, shortage of trained valuers in many local governments. Uh, they have limited ends. I said it when I was discussing the evaluation list, that a consultant will get a job, and because of the area is very big, and their staff strength is low. What do? They try to partner with other firms also to ensure that, okay, the work is done faster when they have more ends. The same thing is applicable here. So we have inadequate professional capacity. So this leads to the framework of tone of list in Nigeria. Framework of tone of list in Nigeria. As we all know, the common one for the tenement rates law. We have various states have their own tenement rate law, which require that valuation list must reflect what the market rental value, in order to ensure fairness. So this is done at the local level, or local municipal, local governments, as the case may be. Then another framework is the land use law, especially for Lagos 2018. So uses a formula for determining the property value, using a formula for determining the property value. But the whole principle is to ensure what uniformity in our tone of list when we are applying it. Then the last one is the case law upholding uniformity principle. So this case law, Nigerian courts, we often rely on the principle of uniformity to do what? To settle disputes. Unity of principle. Unity of principle. Case law brought about that. So I have an example here, just like a practical illustration of a table showing before tone of list. Let's quickly look through this. So this store number, we can, in our own context, can also be likened to shop's number. So we have shop 1 to 6. We have the inside row, we have the corner shops, we have the standard middle, corner shops, standard middle. If you notice that some standard middle are paying what? They are paying 250,000. Some are paying what? 230,000. Some are paying what? 270,000. This is showing that we have the typical rates, the ordinary, the rent is meant to be what? 250,000. But we notice that some people are paying higher. Some people are paying 270. Some people are paying lower. Some people are paying 230. So you will see that you will just see the uniformity all around, scattered all around. But after you now have a standard, after you have a benchmark, after you have what you are going to be working with, what do we have? So this shows after the tone of it. So what do you notice in the standard middle row? You notice that everyone is now paying what? Everyone is now paying the same rate. Everyone is now paying what? The same rate. See the corner shop also. They are now paying 280,000, 280,000, 250,000, 250,000, 250,000. That is the way it should be. And that is the essence of what? Of a tone of list, to ensure that there is fairness. Nobody is paying lower. Nobody is paying higher. Even if you are rich, even if you are poor, they ensure that, okay, because of what you are using, because of where you are, That is why you have to pay what this certain rate for this what for this locality. So I feel with this example, in a way, it will give you what it will give you a better understanding of how a tone of list should what a tone of list should look like. So in conclusion, we can say that the tone of list is the backbone of what of fairness in any rating administration, because why it ensures that property of similar nature within the same locality, they are assessed with what with similar value, and and we know that without this tone of list, valuation will be worse. Valuation list will be inconsistent. Valuation will be worse, will be unfair. Before you know it, you start having series of figures. Everything is just scattering, and at the end of it, you now looking at on the same location, the same number of they are paying. There are variance in what they are paying, which should not be. But with the tool of tone of list, it has helped us to what come up with something that that we can rely on. It has helped us to what standardize our operation, So for students generally, it is important for you to see tone of list as that not a rigid figure, should be something. It should be a guiding principle for you to balance what for you to balance accuracy, for you to balance fairness, and even practicability in what in property rating. So I hope with this we've had a mastery of how a tone of list is. And then in my discussion, I've been relating it with what with valuation list. I've been relating it with valuation list, so that you are not going to be mixing valuation list with what with tone of list so in case you have any question, or you have